Most congregation pastors write an article for the monthly newsletter of their church containing pithy observations or maybe current events going on in the church or theological reflections. Mine for years and years had been called Looking on the Bright Side, a rather silly pun on my name. A couple of years ago, our administrative assistant suggested to me something that I had actually been thinking about for quite some time, and that is that I should, instead of doing that sort of monthly article, do a comic strip. And so, Looking on the Bright Side became a cartoon. Hi, this is Pastor Scott Bright from Berkeley Hills Lutheran Church. After the quarantine began in 2020, we found that we needed different ways to communicate with the congregation. We were doing a lot more stuff with Zoom and with YouTube and Facebook. We found that we were not announcing things by mail in nearly the way that we had. We weren't doing a newsletter because, quite simply, most of the programming had gone on hiatus, and a lot of things that we would have announced during the newsletter weren't really happening. Because there was no newsletter, there was no new cartoons of Looking on the Bright Side for quite some time. I'm making this video because it's time, and now I'm going to show you how I do Looking on the Bright Side and what it is, and it's time for a new cartoon. Over the years, there have been some fun cameos, celebrity cameos. Here's Al Roker and Susanna Guthrie. Fred Rogers has shown up once or twice. Here's Eeyore and Luke Skywalker. You'd have to have been there. Martin Luther has made numerous cameos over the years. Even Jesus has shown up every now and again. Mostly, however, Looking on the Bright Side features two main characters. One, a little troll-like character, perhaps, named Professor Erasmus Q. Hornswoggle, or Raz, and Lord Snootingham, sometimes called Snooty, the pompous pig. Their appearance changes from time to time, but there are some general rules I like to follow. The first is that if any character is shown in a box, it is the pig, Lord Snootingham. He is the more conventional character. He also speaks in speech bubbles. His words are surrounded. Raz, on the other hand, is seldom framed in, and he's not even always drawn completely. And his words are just free and in the air. Raz is the nonconformist. Raz is the one who breaks the bounds. Both characters are based on ventriloquist puppets that I use here for children's sermons at Berkeley Hills. Snooty, on the left, was built by puppet builder Mark Schrankel and was first used at the National Lutheran Youth Gathering in 2009. And Raz, this is actually the second Raz I built here at Berkeley Hills. And the wooden Raz was preceded by a cloth one. And wooden Raz was built probably around 2015 or 16. So I've noticed something ironic lately. That is, if there has been one defining characteristic of the quarantine, it's been that it limits. It kind of boxes us in. I think that's more or less the point of it, right? We feel like things have been taken away from us and opportunities and choices have been taken away from us and we're kind of trapped. The irony for me as a cartoonist is if I would draw a cartoon for the newsletter, it has to fit into a certain size. It has to be reproducible on a page. It has to be something that works within a certain dimension, certain proportion. If I'm doing a cartoon that I don't have to worry about reprinting for mailing, my limits are gone. It's a lot freer. So I've done a new Looking on the Bright Side cartoon, and I'm going to show it to you in just a second. And it's based on this irony, but it's also the gospel. in our imprisonment to sin, to self, to fear, to everything else, we have the freedom that comes and only comes in Jesus. So I'm having my free spirit character, Raz, the one who, remember, does not ever show up in little boxed frames. His words even aren't even in speech bubbles because they're just free and easy. He's the one who feels trapped. And he's the one who's eager to get out and break the bonds because he feels so boxed in. And so here it is, the newest edition of Looking on the Bright Side. Did you know that St. Augustine defined sin as being turned in upon yourself? In Latin, that is incurvatus in se.
I can't take it anymore, Snooty. I've been cooped up for far too long. I gotta get out of here. I feel trapped.
Trapped? Whatever do you mean, Raz? Being quarantined, the quarantine's beginning to ease up. Surely you don't feel trapped in this cartoon, do you?
Yes, I do. But not only that, I'm trapped in my own body, I'm trapped in my own thoughts, in my own selfishness, in my own worldview, in my fear, in myself.
Oh, is that all? Well, no problem then. Jesus frees us from sin and death and worry, and even from ourselves.